Cool. How are you, Lex?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm feeling pretty buoyed, you know.
Quite
You know
annoying.
how it is.
Can we just get this over with really quickly? So I'm doing my token bit today by wearing red.
For St.
Because
David's
it's St.
Day.
David's Day. I've got
Bread of heaven, bread of heaven, feed me till I want no more, want no more. Feed me till I want no more. There you go, well done, you won.
Yeah. Okay.
Happy St. David's
Yeah.
Day.
Thank you very much. And it is a happy St. David's Day today. You might
It
have
is.
noticed I've shared a very interesting plate on my Instagram this morning. Have you seen it? I can't wait to fill it with some amazing dish. It's called the Triple Crown. And it's I don't know whether you know the history of this, Tom, but it's when the home nations win all of their games. So basically Wales play Ireland, Scotland and England, or vice versa, or whoever. And whoever wins all of those games win the Triple Crown. It's a historic thing because obviously that's where it all started, the championship, before it became the Five Nations and then the Six Nations. And of course, Wales can still go on to win the whole thing outright. Anyway, other than that,
You've got 10 seconds left of waffle.
ooh, waffles.
It's Pie
Waffles!
Week.
Yeah, but it's Pie Week. I'm really looking forward to Pie Week because
Can you turn
you
a
might have
waffle
guessed.
into a pie?
You might have guessed, but I love pie.
Oh dear. I'm
Anyway,
just going to move a few things from behind me because the tonic bottle and the washing up liquid doesn't look great.
Look, did you notice look? I'm wearing red, especially for you.
I'm wearing this.
Red.
This is for mental health in hospitality, and I'm feeling a little bit delicate at the moment, so I feel like it's supporting me.
No.
God.
Well, firstly, thank you, Alex, for appreciating the Welshness of today. You know, it like St. George's Day. It's one of those
Celebrating
things.
my heritage.
Yeah, well, yeah, you are. I mean, Tom, I'm surprised he hasn't got a bit of red on because of he's just back to us. Of all the days that I thought he would have finally stopped denouncing his heritage because his nan is Welsh, you know. He would have come forward.
There's mine.
Yeah, everybody's nan is Welsh. We are the origins of
My
human
nan
beings.
is not Welsh, and neither am I.
So thank you for wearing red, and Tom, thank you for you know, it was a difficult day for you guys. Yes, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore because it is what it is. Although you would have had a good, just like the BBC when they did the coverage of an English win, there would have been a good hour after the game, but it was literally bye. Wales won, bye.
Actually, I mean, like I say, we put it on at the start of service, and I think I saw the first 5 minutes. So it went 3-3. I saw that bit, and then we got so busy, and I was just like, I'm just turning it off because I cannot. It wasn't going our way, and I just I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So turned it
Don't
off.
burn anything either, do you? We've all been in service. Where were we? We there was a game on, Alex, and we were doing prep.
It was
God.
Lord
God,
Lee's.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Six Nations
Yeah.
time,
That
wasn't
was
it?
interesting. I think I went home with about 8 cuts on my fingers. I think we won that day as well, actually, Tom.
Yeah, no, I think you did. Yeah, yes.
You beat us the week before.
Our track record is not getting any better against the Welsh at the moment.
So those of us that follow, sorry, those of you that follow us might notice we changed our logo this week to match specifically to British Pie Week, and it might look like a clever piece of artwork, which it actually is, but it is actually a physical pie that was made by Alex. Bravo!
It was.
Excellent.
What flavour is the pie?
It's raspberry and blueberry.
Ooh.
It can't be because when I shared it on my story, I had no, what is it? Sweet now, cherry pie.
Cherry
I don't
pie.
even know who sings. I don't know the words before or after.
I was thinking
I
about
just
doing
know
a
the
cherry
word
pie.
Cherry pie. Cherry pie.
I was thinking about
Do you
doing
know
a
what would be good? A cherry pie with the stones in. That would be an interesting eat.
cherry pie.
What about you, Tom? What you got planned
for this week?
Yeah.
We're going to make a fish pie because it's someone's birthday in the industry, so we'll reveal that towards the end of the week, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, ties in with brilliant fish chef. So doing a fish pie.
Yep.
I've made a video mainly showing off my beer belly, but I am making a pie in it, so
I've seen it.
You can see that.
You're ripped, Tom. You haven't got a beer belly. we all know you've got a very special following that really appreciate your abs.
Yeah, they're long gone. They're in a well protected layer now.
I might follow her up by putting mine on the counter as I'm making my pie. No, yeah, I think we've got some really good juicy stuff that people will want to get involved with. One thing I wanted to say was I think we've got quite a few shy people because we get a couple of PMs about sharing stuff, but I think people are reluctant to share stuff on our pages. Are they scared that we might go to town on them, or
There is a Welsh dragon about at the moment. He's quite an aggressive beast.
Who's that then? Are you suggesting that
You're scaring them off, mate. I mean, especially the English at the moment. There's no way we want to speak to any Welsh people. I'm only doing this through freaking need rather than choice. I mean, I didn't leave the house for freaking 48 hours afterwards.
So it's British Pie Week. Alex,
yes.
I'm assuming you're going to be making us a pie. What are you making?
I am going to be making a pie. I think I'm going to make a fruit pie. It could be one of two flavours. I'm either going to go classically apple, because it's very seasonal and bang on now. Lots of apples available, lots of different varieties, something British. Or I'm going to go blueberry. And go deep filled blueberry.
If you were going to do an apple pie, what apples do you use for your apple pie? Just cooking apples, or do you like to use something a bit different?
I sometimes mix them. So I might do a brownie with a sweet. Just depends.
Yeah.
But for a pie, you need the consistency, don't you? So
you want something to hold up.
Brownie's going to hold up beautifully.
And you get that lovely tart that hits you around the jowls.
Yeah,
I love that. Do you know, the kids saw the picture of the pie that you made, the salt kitchen pie. And Ty in particular said, I don't think I've ever had a sweet pie. And I thought, that means it's going to be on the agenda. Make a sweet pie.
I'll give you a recipe.
So once your recipe comes out, I think I'll copy it. Is it going to be an easy one? Because you know what I'm like. As soon as somebody says sweet,
I think pie. That's the beauty of pie, though, isn't it? It's just the top and the bottom, and then whatever you want to put in the middle.
I think mastering pastry. Once you've got a decent pastry recipe, you can put your hands to. And you don't worry about making it. Your filling is your oyster, really, isn't it? It's wherever you want to take it.
I think so. And you know, the other thing we want to encourage people is don't let the pastry be your limits. You can get decent pastry. I mean, I would always suggest you make your own short crust, but you can go and buy it off the shelf, just roll, or I'm not going to say any particular mix, but any of the ones we've used at home just quickly have all been successful, flaky or short crust. I love making my own short crust, however.
Yeah, sweet short crust. There's loads of different pâté brise, loads of different sweet pastries as well. We can do it again. So Tom, are you doing anything with pastry?
Yeah, so I've done a little video making some short crust. I filled it with just a chicken pie mix. Did it down in the pub, so killed two birds with one stone. It was making me endless amounts of pies, and I recorded me doing one as well. So I
saw Steve in the background. He was buzzing around.
No, that was Jay.
It was Jay.
Yeah, he comes in. Jay, can you just And I always find one fail-safe. I don't do it at the pub, but one thing that I do at home is I'll make my pies a couple of days beforehand, and I'll freeze them on purpose. Because I always find I'm really lucky with the oven we've got at the pub, because I know the temperature's bang on. I know it can go really hot, and I know I can control it really quickly. But at home with your sort of like bog standard conventional oven, I find cooking them from frozen, I never ever get a soggy bottom, because it cooks the pastry before the filling even goes liquid again. Yeah. So you've got that really nice crunchy pastry, and then it's already made that case. So when your filling does start to defrost and cook through, you always end up with a nice pie with that soggy bottom. So.
And it sets the butter, doesn't it? It makes such a difference with the butter. The fat, whatever you're using.
So we got Lexi making a fruit pie, undecided at the moment. Potentially apple, potentially blueberry.
I'm the only one who's managed to get away with
I've done your
anything.
pie basics sort of thing, a real throw together, just showing you that it's not a difficult process to make a nice pie. And Stephen, you're doing something quite interesting, aren't you, with a pie? You're actually...
we had a little chat, didn't we, about making a pie that actually becomes part of, instead of having a meal based around the pie, a meal that features a pie as part of the texture or part of the dish. So yeah, I've got something that might appeal to some or quite a few. I'll share that recipe. But I'm not going to give anything away just now. Otherwise, we've given everything away.
Savoury pie.
Savoury pie. Who's on savoury pie?
Could be savoury, could be sweet.
Ooh,
wait and see.
It up.
Just
You're putting your fruity jus in your pie.
I'm quite pie in the sky about
Sounds
what
wrong.
I'm going to do at the moment. Yeah.
But because Lexi, you're gonna go into a little bit on your doing a top for your pie, aren't you? So
So I'm just going to think about how you make a bit of focus on how you make your pies look a bit more fancy. So I think people, it's very easy just to bung a basic pastry on the top. But it's quite easy to do some decoration. So I'm going to be looking at that and how we can use simple cutters that you have at home to make a pretty finish to your pie.
There we go.
Yeah,
the gift that keeps on giving.
Way to elevate it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, she makes things look good, doesn't she? And look at her bread and butter pudding last week.
Yeah, I mean,
if
you'd have asked me to make the bread and butter pudding, you'd have had a picture of a tray of bread and butter pudding. So
It sounds good. That's good. It's all different horses, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think that's thing. I know that's one thing that I get asked quite a lot. And Alex, you've said this as well, that people are like mad crazy on like that whole. How do you take your plate to that next level? And you're not talking technique, you're not talking flavor, you're just talking like. And I know that's one thing that when I first started cooking properly and a bit more so was that, I mean, back on that show that we don't often talk about, MasterChef, I was ripped to pieces for what some of my food looked like to start with. And then following tips from different people and looking stuff up, it's actually quite surprising how you can lift your plate in just by sticking to a few basic rules. And I think that's one thing that I've really found important, is that if I stick to those rules and I don't try and go, oh, I'm going to put a swoosh there and a thing there. If I know what works, and that's how I deal with it, is I stick to those few rules, and it helps me. So
yeah,
I think so, and I think that show pushed, MasterChef pushes you to take things to another level. But I honestly think that it gave us a foot in to, when we went into that first service together. I'm on about outside of the show. When we got in the real world, you really start to learn where the gaps are in your planning, where the gaps are in everything that you do. And plating just became one of those things. And I know, Alex, you're great at coming up with original ideas, and you probably do a lot of study as well, looking at other people just for inspiration, I guess, and putting them all together. I know you've got your own style as well, and I guess
dream about it. I wake up in the middle of the night. I've learned a lot from the way that you especially with these desserts, and when you apply the same sort of principles to a plate. But I know we don't talk about MasterChef very often, but I've no regrets about MasterChef. But the irony is, it starts again this week. How the hell they filmed it, I don't know. I'd like to ask Claire the question, but the irony is that I went out of MasterChef making a pie.
You Pitivia.
Yeah, I had a bad day at the office, but so yeah, who's going to listen to me about pies? What do I know? I went.
I've tasted your pies; they're amazing.
Just don't put a carrot in it.
Don't talk to me about carrots.
Yeah. Anyway, but so Lexi, what? Give us an idea. Are you talking like what I'm thinking is I'm going to go straight into the cupboard, get my star cutter out, cut a star out, lick it, stick it on top of the pie, and then stick it in the oven. My rationale that I haven't got, and bake it away. But go on, give us a bit of insight without giving too much away.
I think every household has got the odd cutter lying around, and if not, glasses. You can use all sorts of different shaped things to be able to cut pastry, and it's all about the thickness of the pastry, the glaze finish, and then how you layer things to try and make it, just look a bit more layer.
Mary Berry.
There's no soggy bottoms in your kitchen, is there, darling?
Well, actually, yeah, so it's just about layering things up and making it just look good. So I think it's all about the finish. You know, it's the pie filling is almost, I think, the easy bit. It's about how you finish it off. And
Talking of looking good, red suits you, by the way, and I have to say that your narcissi look splendid. Your daffodils over your right hand. Is that your
My-
right hand shoulder?
it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never know whether we're in reverse or in mirror order on these things.
I didn't notice
And
the
by the
daft,
time-
so now I'm really upset.
Yeah.
There's also a token leak.
Leak.
Now, if I was going to make a chicken pie and start with that chicken pie flake, it's got to be leeks for me. Chicken and leek pie. Lovely. It's
Yeah.
classic.
That's what I
Do
feel
you
my
do?
little pie
So,
with.
I was thinking about chicken pie this morning because I make quite a lot of chicken pies, and I was thinking how I don't know how if everyone does it differently, but I always make mine. I always bring my chicken to a boil in stock, and then I use the stock to make the roux and make the white sauce, and then I add all the vegetables in, which I cook separately. And so I bring my pie together like that. But how do you guys do yours?
I flour my chicken, so I dredge my chicken and then fry it off separately, remove, and then I start building up with me bacon, me onions, me leeks, me layers of flavors like that. And then when I add my chicken back to me stock at that point, it thickens itself that way.
It's great that we all do something slightly different. Like
Which
I
is-
would make my stock from stuff that because I'm cooking chickens every weekend or once a week. Keep the carcasses, make stocks. So I've always got some chicken stock there that I would have that to make that roux. But I would probably start with a flour. But one thing I'd always stay away from is the breast. I think the chicken leg. I know you can use anything, but the chicken leg is the best flavor, and it cooks that
Yeah, I agree.
gelatinous fat and the sinew out. So you
No,
cook it for a little bit longer.
I think it's interesting as well is that the more and more, like, even when you look around the supermarket now, the amount of, before it was always just you got your drummers, your thighs, and your breasts. And now the amount of times that you see the skinless and boneless thighs, and they're stacked up loads of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a
Yeah.
fantastic product, I think. And I mean, I'll sub those into most of my chicken dishes that I do at home rather than breast. They're slightly
Yeah.
cheaper, and I mean, if you buy the whole thighs and skin them and bone them yourself, which literally takes 5 minutes, it's so cheap compared to buying chicken breasts.
And if you buy a couple of packs of those, I mean, I'll go to the butcher's to be honest in the supermarket. But but you're quite right. You know, a lot of people using the supermarket every day. And if you get them bone in and then you take the bones out, keep all the little bones and make another stock. You can add to that flavor. Roast them up.
Just freeze them.
A nice little brown chicken stock. Brilliant idea. I like your idea though, Alex. That is a
And
different way.
you can keep the skin as well. Make crispy skin.
Crispy skin.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, you
could
can
probably-
make crispy skin.
You could probably put your crispy skin in with your bloody pastry, I'd have thought.
Yeah, probably.
Talking of
You could
crispy
make
skin.
chicken butter, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Talking of
Yeah,
chicken
be-
skin, what's the chances, or crispy skin rather? What's the chances on us getting out of this country this year? I've never been so
I'm meant to
pale.
be going.
You're going
In fact,
to,
I'm meant to be in Switzerland next week, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, I think you're
Um,
stuck on that one slightly.
Yeah,
That's a
but
shame.
yeah, from June onwards, I'm meant to be away working 2 months.
I mean, my last thing on chicken pie,
might happen.
tarragon.
Mm.
Not loads of
Mm.
tarragon, but just a
Yeah.
little bit of tarragon at the end, and that will
Yeah.
completely, in my opinion, completely lifts it.
Okay, so looking forward to Pie Week, guys. Looking forward to seeing all the recipes and what we're up to. So have a good week. Happy baking. And please send us your recipes. Please show us what you're cooking. Please show us what you're doing.
Hit
we'd
us
love
up
to
with
see
any
it.
questions.
Yeah, totally.
Alex answers them. We went over that last week, I think.
Anyway, have a good week and see you next week.
Bye.
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 Bye.